Deadpool was on a mission to save his world from destruction, and he believed that Wolverine might be the key to his success. Determined, he dug up Wolverine's remains, only to find that the mutant was no longer alive. Furious, Deadpool vented his frustrations by beating the skeletal remains with a shovel, cursing Logan for being his last hope. After calming down, Deadpool engaged in a conversation with Wolverine's skeleton, a moment of solace amidst the chaos. However, their peaceful exchange was short-lived, as TVA agents arrived to arrest Deadpool for interfering with the timeline. Deadpool, not one to back down, used Wolverine's adamantium bones as a weapon to fight off the agents, showcasing his resourcefulness and determination. As more agents poured through portals, Deadpool refused to give up, tying Wolverine's claws to his own wrists and using them as a formidable arsenal against his adversaries. He was determined to rid the world of the TVA agents, no matter the cost. Flashback to a few months prior, when Wade Wilson, the man behind the Deadpool mask, had tried to join the Avengers, hoping to live a good life and win back his beloved Vanessa. However, his selfish motivations were deemed unacceptable, and he was rejected by the Avengers worker, Happy. Undeterred, Wade started a new chapter, working at a dealership with his friend Peter, one of the few who knew his true identity as Deadpool. On Wade's birthday, Peter surprised him with a party where he reunited with Vanessa, his ex-girlfriend. Despite the breakup, Wade found solace in being surrounded by the people he loved, a rare moment of happiness in his tumultuous life. But just as he was blowing out the candles and making a wish, a knock on the door shattered the peace. TVA agents had arrived, and before Wade could react, they dragged him through a portal to the TVA headquarters. There, Wade met Paradox, who revealed that the TVA was responsible for protecting the sacred timeline. Paradox offered Wade a chance to join the Avengers in the future if he agreed to work for the TVA. Seizing the opportunity, the anti-hero immediately accepted the deal, eager to don a new uniform and embark on his mission for the TVA. Wade pleaded with Paradox to send him back home, eager to share the news of his newfound opportunity with his friends. However, Paradox's revelation shattered Wade's dreams. By making the deal with the TVA, his entire universe would be reset in a mere 72 hours, and all the people he held dear would cease to exist. Paradox explained that in Wade's universe, the anchor was Wolverine, who had sacrificed himself to save a group of mutant children, including his own daughter, Laura. With Wolverine gone, the universe was destined to disintegrate, and Paradox had decided to expedite the process, building a machine to destroy it all at once. Faced with this devastating news, Wade was given a grim choice: join the sacred timeline and fulfill his dream of becoming an Avenger, or be destroyed along with his friends. But the ever-resourceful Deadpool had a different plan in mind. After striking Paradox, Wade seized the chance to open a portal back home, determined to find a way to save his world. Returning to Wolverine's remains, he confirmed that the mutant was indeed gone, leaving him with no obvious means of salvation. Undeterred, Deadpool set out on a journey through parallel universes, seeking alternative versions of Wolverine who might be willing to help. However, his quest was met with resistance, as each Logan he encountered sought to eliminate him, including one that bore a striking resemblance to Henry Cavill. Battered and bruised, Deadpool finally found an alcoholic version of Wolverine who also refused to lend a hand. Desperate, Wade took the reluctant Logan to the TVA headquarters, hoping to convince Paradox to replace the old Wolverine with a new one. But Paradox dashed his hopes, revealing that such a substitution was not possible. Determined to find a solution, Wade demanded to speak to whoever was in charge, only to discover that Paradox intended to carry out the operation without his superior's consent in order to avoid losing his position. Sensing the impending danger, Paradox decided to reset Deadpool and then do the same with Wolverine before the mercenary could cause any more trouble. The encounter between Deadpool and Wolverine was a volatile one, as the mutant vented his fury at being taken from his own universe against his will and now trapped in this strange place. Wade retaliated, unloading his pistol cartridges into Wolverine's ribs, sparking a fierce duel. Wolverine used his adamantium claws to destroy Deadpool's weapons, forcing the mercenary to resort to his swords to block the blows. The fight raged on, with Deadpool landing several hits and leaving his swords embedded in Wolverine's body. Sensing his rival's vulnerability, Logan prepared to rip off Deadpool's head, but the quick-witted Wade managed to convince him to join forces. Even without knowing Wolverine's past, Deadpool imagined the mutant must have suffered a great loss, which fueled his bitterness. Wade promised that if Logan helped him return to the TVA headquarters, he would convince Paradox to fix his own universe. Their tense exchange was interrupted by the arrival of Captain America, whom Deadpool greeted with emotional reverence. However, the figure turned out to be Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, whose attempts to eliminate the approaching enemies were thwarted by the mutant Pyro. As Pyro absorbed Johnny's powers, leaving him powerless, Sabretooth emerged to attack his brother. Deadpool, believing the ensuing duel would be epic, removed the sword from Wolverine's body, but to his surprise, Logan made the first move, swiftly ripping off Sabretooth's head. Realizing he wouldn't be able to capture the two mutants, Pyro decided to imprison them both using a giant magnet, trapping Deadpool and Wolverine alongside the weakened Johnny Storm. The trio were taken to Cassandra Nova's hideout, the twin sister of Professor Charles Xavier. Deadpool recounted the terrible things Johnny had said about Cassandra, enraging her. She then subjected Wolverine and Deadpool to her mind control powers, delving into their deepest vulnerabilities. When Cassandra exited Deadpool's mind, the mercenary distracted her, allowing Wolverine to attempt a strike with his claws. However, Cassandra easily evaded the attack and summoned a monstrous entity, Alo, to devour them. Narrowly escaping, Deadpool and Wolverine fled on a flying device, determined to find a way to survive this ordeal and possibly even save their respective worlds. Deadpool and Wolverine knew they had to find a way to return to the TVA and capture Paradox, forcing him to fix their respective universes. But before embarking on this perilous mission, the duo decided to take a much-needed break. They stumbled upon an abandoned diner in the middle of the desert and sat down to eat. During their meal, Deadpool commented that in his world, Logan was adored by many fans. Hearing this, Wolverine revealed a surprising truth. In his universe, he was hated by everyone because he had made an unforgivable mistake. Refreshed from their brief respite, the Allies resumed their journey, heading towards the border, as Johnny Storm had suggested before his demise. Along the way, Deadpool's attention was captured by a stray dog running towards him. Without hesitation, Wade decided to adopt the canine, whom he affectionately named Dogpool. However, their encounter was short-lived, as Nicepool, Dogpool's rightful owner, appeared to reclaim his beloved pet. Grateful for the assistance, Nicepool offered to lend his car to Deadpool and Wolverine, allowing them to reach the border more quickly. During the drive, Deadpool inquired about what Wolverine would like to change in the past if the TVA agents could alter the timeline. This question sparked a realization within Logan. He had been deceived by his partner's false promises of fixing his universe. Unsure if his world could truly be restored, Wolverine abruptly braked the vehicle and attacked Deadpool, furious at having been tricked. Ever since being removed from his own universe against his will, Wolverine had believed he could rectify a grave mistake from the past and bring his friends back. Seething with frustration, Wolverine unleashed his wrath on Deadpool, no longer believing the promises of fixing his universe. The two allies descended into a vicious brawl within the confines of the car, Deadpool wielding his sword while Logan relentlessly struck with his adamantium claws. The intense battle raged on through the night, the vehicle completely destroyed and blood spattering everywhere. Despite their ability to heal instantly, the fight showed no signs of stopping, both men determined to vent their anger and mistrust. In the morning, the pair were found unconscious by another variant who had been sent to this world. As Deadpool regained consciousness, he saw Wolverine drinking from a bottle of whiskey. Suddenly, Wade heard a noise and prepared to attack, only to be swiftly taken down by the arrival of Elektra. Blade the Vampire Hunter and Gambit then appeared, accompanied by Laura, also known as X-23. The young woman revealed that she had recognized Wolverine and decided to take the duo to the hideout after finding them in the desert. Laura had undergone a similar experiment to Logan with adamantium infused into her body, and she felt compelled to repay the favor he had once done for her. Upon meeting the assembled team, Deadpool inquired about how they had ended up in this world. Elektra explained that all their universes had been reset by the TVA, who had sent them to this void to prevent them from causing further problems. Hearing this, Wade decided to join the team, learning that they had been friends of the late Johnny Storm. Wolverine then revealed that it was Deadpool's actions that had led to the Human Torch's elimination by Cassandra Nova, the twin sister of Professor Charles Xavier. However, Deadpool managed to turn the situation around, convincing the mutants to help him defeat Cassandra. The only way to stop her was by using Magneto's helmet to block her mind control powers, but Cassandra had already destroyed the artifact after eliminating the mutant. As the team solemnly recounted the tragic loss of their friend Johnny Storm, Elektra suddenly remembered a crucial detail. Juggernaut's helmet could also block Cassandra's mind control powers, just like Magneto's. The only problem was that Juggernaut worked for Cassandra herself. Deadpool quickly devised a plan to steal the helmet, and he set out to convince the entire team to join him in this daring mission. However, Wolverine remained reluctant to participate. Later that night, as Logan sat by the campfire drinking whiskey, he was visited by Laura. The young woman stated that despite Wolverine's flaws, he reminded her greatly of her own father. She revealed that her father had always been there for her when she needed him most. Hearing this, Logan confessed that he had not been there to help his X-Men family when they needed him most. Instead of staying at the mansion, he had chosen to follow his own path. By the time he returned, drunk from a bar, he found the bodies of his friends, a tragedy he had never been able to forgive himself for. Moved by Logan's heartbreaking story, Laura assured him that she would accompany the team to Cassandra's hideout in the morning and asked Wolverine to lend his support in the fight. At dawn, the group set out in a car towards the mutants' fortress. As they approached, Blade used a bazooka to destroy the gates, and the team stormed the enemy base. To everyone's surprise, Wolverine emerged from the trunk of the car, bolstering the team's confidence with his presence. Knowing they might not all make it out alive, the team members gave their all, allowing Deadpool and Wolverine the best chance to reach Cassandra. When the duo confronted the formidable woman, she claimed to be surprised by their return and easily immobilized them without even touching them. Cassandra then invaded Wolverine's mind, discovering the deep pain he carried for disappointing all the people he had loved. After finding the bodies of his friends at the mansion, Logan had become a bitter person, driven to eliminate humans in a futile attempt to ease his anguish. While Deadpool and Wolverine confronted Cassandra, Laura faced off against Juggernaut in a duel. After defeating the powerful mutant, Laura was able to steal his iconic helmet, a crucial artifact that could block Cassandra's mind control abilities. Climbing the tower, Laura attempted to deliver the helmet to Wolverine, but she was pulled back down. Thinking quickly, she threw her backpack containing the helmet up to the room, and Deadpool was able to grab it. With the helmet in hand, Deadpool managed to trap Cassandra while she was vulnerable, having delved deep into Wolverine's troubled psyche. As the duo debated what to do with their captive, Pyro suddenly appeared and began firing at his boss. In the ensuing chaos, Wolverine struck Pyro, sparking an argument with Deadpool about Cassandra's fate. Logan knew that if the helmet was not removed, she would soon perish. Despite his desire to kill her, Wolverine decided to save Cassandra's life, knowing that this was not what Professor Xavier would have wanted. As a gesture of gratitude, Cassandra used a ring she had stolen from a version of Doctor Strange to open a portal back to Earth 1.5, Wade's home universe. However, she warned the duo that they only had 4 seconds to escape before the encroaching void would devour them. Deadpool and Wolverine wasted no time, dashing through the portal as their allies continued to battle the mutants. Once on the other side, Cassandra began interrogating Pyro, determined to uncover the reason for his attempted assassination. Pyro confessed that he was an infiltrated agent working for Paradox, who had ordered him to eliminate Cassandra. Realizing that Deadpool and Wolverine had returned to Washington, Paradox set out to pursue them, but he was caught off guard by Cassandra's arrival. The mutant invaded Paradox's mind, discovering that he was building a machine to annihilate the entire universe. Suddenly, Cassandra violently expelled Deadpool and Wolverine, intent on continuing her exploration of Paradox's plans. Determined to eliminate all universes except the Void, which she governed, Cassandra set her sights on the destruction of all reality. While Deadpool and Wolverine made their way back to their respective universes, a new crisis was unfolding. Commander B-15 of the TVA had received news of an unauthorized time portal being activated on Earth 105. Capturing Paradox, Cassandra took him to the machine he had been building, leaving the portal open in her wake. To Deadpool's surprise, Dogpool emerged from the portal, soon followed by Niecepool, who came running towards them. Suddenly, an enormous army of Deadpools from across all existing versions crossed through the open portal. Confronted by this horde of mercenaries, Wade tried to convince them to join his cause, but instead, they opened fire. Deadpool used Niecepool's body as a shield, eventually managing to hide behind a vehicle. Realizing that his doppelganger could not regenerate, Wade decided to take him to the hospital. However, to reach the corner, he had to cross the army of clones, once again using Niecepool as a shield, resulting in the hairy version's gruesome demise. Wade then stole Niecepool's gold-plated pistols and joined forces with Wolverine to eliminate the enemy army. Together, they fought their way through the mercenaries, even clearing out a group hiding inside a bus. The bad news was that after the battle, the Deadpools got back up, ready for another round as they could all regenerate, unlike Niecepool. Just as a new war was about to begin, Peter arrived on the battlefield and managed to establish peace as he was loved by all the Deadpools. While the gang celebrated Peter's appearance, Wade and Logan rushed to the subway, where they discovered that Cassandra had already started using Paradox's machine. According to Paradox, the only way to stop Cassandra from destroying all alternative realities was to cause a short circuit in the device, which was powered by sources of matter and antimatter. To destroy the machine, someone would have to create a connection between the sources, but the person serving as the bridge would be completely incinerated. Knowing the great risk, Deadpool and Wolverine decided to continue the mission. Logan stated that he would go alone from there on, but Wade believed Logan deserved a fresh start and attacked him with a fire extinguisher, pushing him out of the chamber. Deadpool, determined to stop Cassandra's destructive plan, locked the doors and destroyed one of the power sources. He then tried to stretch and reach the antimatter source to create the necessary connection, but he couldn't quite make it. Just as all seemed lost, Wolverine burst through the door and grabbed Wade's hand. Realizing they had to act as a bridge for the energy transfer, the duo allowed their bodies to be used as conduits, enduring the intense burning as they facilitated the massive short circuit in the time rift. Despite the immense pain, Deadpool and Wolverine persisted, their combined efforts causing Cassandra's body to be instantly pulverized and narrowly saving Earth 105 from destruction. At that moment, Commander B-15 of the TVA appeared, questioning Paradox about his unauthorized use of the Time Ripper. Paradox explained that Cassandra had forced him to build the machine and invaded his mind to learn how to operate it. Realizing reality would be destroyed, Paradox had asked Deadpool and Wolverine to fix the problem, and they had sacrificed themselves to save the universe. However, to Paradox's surprise, Deadpool and Wolverine had survived the explosion, proving his story false. B-15 commended their teamwork and resilience, and despite Wolverine's lack of belonging to that timeline, she allowed him to stay and rebuild his life. Seizing the opportunity, Deadpool requested the commander's help in rescuing his friends trapped in the void, without whom none of this would have been possible. After their triumphant journey, Deadpool and Wolverine decided to celebrate with a meal, and Wade was overjoyed to be reunited with Dogpool. Deciding to adopt the loyal canine, Wade took him home, where he and Logan were greeted by the ever-reliable Al. In the days that followed, Wade made amends with Vanessa and reunited with his friends, both old and new, as they all savored the victory and looked towards the future.